We're from RPGCC in London, UK. We're a full-service firm of accountants, so we offer the full suite of services. So myself and Kelly, we're both in the tax team. We also offer audit services, accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, corporate finance, wealth management, and the full suite that you'd expect from a firm of our size. So we're about 15 partners, around 100 staff, although that seems to change on a daily basis. So at the moment we're around that sort of number, but it keeps growing. We've gone on quite a journey in recent years, so we've grown a great deal in the last I've been there for 4.5 years and we've more than doubled in size in that sort of time period. So that's all organic growth as well. So we haven't done any mergers in that time frame either. Going on a great journey, it's going up and up. We're an independent firm, so a lot of people in our jurisdiction are taking private equity money, but we're proud of our independence and intend to remain so.
So our main office is based in the City of London, and we also have another office in Milton Keynes, which mainly deals with the bookkeeping and some tax compliance as well. And as Tim said, we've grown massively over the last sort of 3 or 4 years, which is why it's even more important to be part of this network. The value is incredible to us, so great.
Goes back to Victorian times, in fact, yeah. So the sort of Crouch-Chapman side of it sort of formed in around, I think it was 1892, something like that. It was about 1890s anyway. So that firm had been around for a long, long time. RPG was a firm up in Manchester. They opened a London office, and the London office merged with Crouch-Chapman around at the end of 2012. So the firm in its current incarnation has been around since the start of 2013, basically. But yeah, it does have a deep history, traditional firm in the City of London. What we really pride ourselves on is that personal service. So, you know, we really put the effort in and go the extra mile to make sure that our clients are serviced really well and to get to know them and to really make sure we're available to them at all times. Because, I mean, of course, we have to delegate certain tasks to be able to get jobs done. But the point is, we're always at the forefront of that. We're always there, part of the delivery. So we're both, personable people to try and get to know them, but also technical people, so that if they have any particular queries, so it's that sort of blend of skills that we provide that I think makes us really stand out in the marketplace. So I appreciate if you go to the Big Four, you're going to get some hugely technical people, you're going to get some very charming people, but I just feel like that you tend to often get stuck talking to sort of middle managers, whereas we'll always have access to us as partners at our firm. That's what we really pride ourselves on, making ourselves available.
Partner-led service is really one of our key selling points. We have 15 partners in the firm, and I would actually say that probably a lot of our firm has had experience in some of the larger international firms before joining RPGCC, so we have a really strong calibre of advisors. We've got that experience, but we operate in a practice that isn't sort of confined by, I don't know, the nuts and bolts that a larger organisation might be. You know, we like to think that we're agile and that we can support clients quickly and effectively, and I think in fact that's something that sets us apart with clients, that we can move quickly to support them, whereas other firms might not do so.
I think that's a great word, agility, yeah. I think that's really describes what we do, just being able to jump on something. I mean, I'm probably speaking for myself, but don't look at a 9-to-5 work day. I'm really interested in just what's right for the client. If we've got, you know, put the hours in, let's put the hours in and get the job done. We will go the extra mile to make sure things are delivered. I think particularly with US citizens, what we see is because US citizens are almost unique in the world in that they continue to pay tax in the US regardless of the fact they live in another country. I believe the only other country in the world that does that is Eritrea, but I've never had an Eritrean client, to be honest. So with US citizens, they're in that unique position where you have to really understand that obviously they're going to continue to pay their taxes in the US, but working out who gets to tax what and in what order is where it becomes valuable advice, because it's clear that they're always going to pay tax in the US, that's a given. But if you're a UK resident, the UK are also going to tax you. So the question becomes who taxes what and when. So it's understanding those sort of principles, and that's sort of a common misconception that we find, is that even with US accountants that they've come, so they might have a small town accountant that they've used all their life, but they've never had the experience of the international tax position, which again is why sometimes we say, you know, we've got some great people in IR Global you might want to speak to in Alternative, because they know what they're doing on the international front in US taxes. Yeah, it's having sort of that misconception about the double tax position and that kind of thing, and US assuming that the US citizens often turn up assuming they're just going to continue paying everything in the US and go, well, hang on a minute, you don't live there anymore. Other countries also get to tax you, by the way. So that's quite a common misconception when we see because of the way the US tax system works for individuals.
For my part, so I specialise in VAT, so sales tax is probably more a relevant term for the global audience. But for me, it's around the fact that, not necessarily a misconception, but sales tax is a real-time tax, essentially. So quite often businesses will think about operating internationally, but not actually build in time to put in place VAT registrations, understand what their VAT liabilities are, etc. And quite often they're then on the back foot because they're registering late, they have to pay penalties, interest, etc. Or maybe they just think the VAT registration will come through in a week, but actually in the UK, HMRC are notoriously slow, so it can take sort of 2, 3, 4 months. So really it's just about educating clients to sort of think in advance, if possible. I think the other thing is that for businesses that aren't established in the UK, there isn't a VAT registration threshold at all. So the minute you make any supplies, even if it's just for £1, you've got a liability to be registered. So that can be a misconception as well. So there are a few little things, little quirks that we can support with. As Tim alluded to earlier on, we've grown significantly over the past few years, which is fantastic for the firm. What it does mean is that we have clients we have more audit clients and we have more clients operating internationally. So it's really important that for us as a London and Milton Keynes based firm, that we have international reach as well, to be able to offer our clients that network of support if they're looking to trade internationally. It is invaluable, and the network has been great in that sense. So it's really not just a case of us wanting to win work from other businesses in the network, although obviously that is great. It's equally important for us to be able to have contacts that we know and that we can rely on to support our clients' businesses. And I think we've been a member of the network now for 3 or 4 years, and those relationships just continue to get stronger. So conferences, events like this, where you continue to build relationships. I mean, we've just been out for breakfast with a tax partner from Toronto, and that's all great because we know each other and we can pick up the phone to each other if we have client issues. A
lot of the members all share the same ethos, and that it's all about the client and it's the service that they're here to deliver. We don't feel like it's just a directory of names. Really getting to know the people and coming to these conferences and things is very important to us, and it's as Kelly said, it's building that relationship, having that trusted person at the other end that we trust our clients with, having met them and known them for a number of years now. So yes, it's vital to us that we're a member of the international network to be able to service those clients that we have. Yes, it's nice when we get stuff in as well, but it's more about servicing our clients is our focus on this. Some examples I think about individuals who have moved to the UK. They were a member of a hedge fund in the US, so they already had a US citizen as well. So they're coming to the UK, they were interested to understand what their position would be when they moved here, particularly because the UK have just changed their rules around the tax on carried interests and that sort of thing that people have in these funds. So we were able to give them the advice and reassurance about how they would interact with the US, and worked with the US advisor as well to be able to give that holistic advice, so we understood what his US position would be, what his UK position would be, and how the two would interact in terms of double tax and that kind of thing. So yeah, that was quite a nice example of being able to provide that. And then that client has now just come on board to carry on with compliance services as well. So he's just signed up for that in the last few weeks, in fact. So that was a very nice piece of work that came across, and yeah, it's been a good one for us, and it could be a good client going forward. I've recently had a US referral, a company that specialises in the development of skincare.
and they're well established in the US and looking to sell in the UK. So there it's all about advising on the VAT implications of that, getting them set up so that we can deal with the compliance. But a big part of the initial work is an advisory piece. So what is the VAT liability in the UK? When do they need to register? What is the treatment of various retail promotions like discounts or samples or business gifts, etc. That was a referral that it came through the network. I think they're already operating in the Netherlands, so it came from a Dutch member, albeit that the business is originally from the US. So that was a recent one. Also had quite a few European referrals. So I know that we're here today to talk about the US, but that's been an important market for us as well. We've worked with an Italian firm. They have referred quite a few clients to us over the last year or 18 months. They've also recommended us to lawyers who aren't part of the network, who have then just introduced us to other clients as well. So it's really been valuable.
In general, sort of being part of the network has shown that, as we said before, about building those trusted advisors relationships. Being able to sponsor it helps us just really get our name up there at the forefront. It also encourages people to come and talk to us. It just sort of helps that to encourage the relationship building from both sides. So it takes away the emphasis from us just having to go out and do everything. Some people coming to us and say, "Oh, thanks for sponsoring," and they appreciate the amount of participation that we are in this network, and the amount of effort we are putting into getting to know everyone. So it was, and in particular with the North American market, yes, it's a big one for us. So from us on the tax side, we'll be exchanging sort of clients. We deal with quite a number of US citizens living in London now, and quite a few of them have come through the network from a personal tax point of view. And then, as we said before, we're trying to build up a license so that we can audit subsidiaries of US entities, and therefore it's important that we have that relationship so that people are aware of that as well, and we're spreading that message while we're here this time now.
Whilst just speaking to the tax part, because that's where Tim and I both specialise, obviously we deal with tax compliance, but a large part of what we do is advisory. So, as Tim said, advising international clients who are looking to operate in the UK is a key part of our work. And whilst we get referrals from Europe, a large part of the referral is also from the US or North America's. It's great to be here. We do tend to come to this US conference each year to sort of support that growth as well.